Welcome, everybody. My name is John Dorer. I'm here with my good friend and my business associate, longtime business associate, Mr. David Yurkofsky. As you probably know from our previous videos, David and I have been working together for, I think we're going to leave it at 20 plus years, so we don't get too crazy. Would you say that's
well, yeah,
close enough?
we've helped each other out for 20 years. Wow, geez.
Let me fix the camera. That's better. Okay, there we go.
That's better.
Much better. Anyway, so big news today. So a few guys have been paying attention to the news. President Biden, in the past couple of weeks, issued an executive order on AI, artificial intelligence, and he instructed, and David, correct me if I'm wrong, I might be paraphrasing a little bit, but I think he instructed USCIS, immigration, to find ways to streamline the immigration processing so we don't lose important workers that can help build our AI infrastructure.
I do believe that is the goal. Hopefully, I think in most cases, unfortunately, when politicians announce something, it doesn't always pan out or turn out to be what we were hoping it would be. But we can hope, because if they implement this and include Schedule A, which hasn't been changed since 1960 or something.
1965,
it would speed up green card processing by, it would save at least a year, if not a year and a half.
Yeah, exactly. So this Schedule A, for those who do not know, is a fast track employment sponsored green card option. Currently, it's only available for nurses and physical therapists. Is that right?
That's my understanding.
So there's a great, I'm going to share my screen real quick. There's a great article that just came out yesterday in the Society of Human Resources Management, shrm.org, of which we're members. And Roy Moorer, who's a great writer, he writes, I think, exclusively on immigration issues for the Society of Human Resource Management. So he puts, he really is eloquent in his writing. And take a look at this. I'll put the link in the description, but it talks about how since this Schedule A has not been updated since 1991, it's essentially out of date, and it's supposed to reflect and include jobs where there's a labor shortage. And so this is really interesting because there's an opportunity now and pressure on the Department of Labor and immigration to include more occupations, more jobs in Schedule A.
And of course, for those of you who don't know, Schedule A allows employers who want to sponsor foreign nationals to come to the United States or who are already here to obtain green cards to work for them full time. It allows them to bypass the entire Department of Labor recruitment known as the PERM process. Now, just to give you an idea, it's taking 6 to 9 months just to get the wage approved from the Department of Labor, although sometimes it's faster, 3 to 9 months, average 6 months, just to get the wage approved. And then the employer has to advertise in 2 Sunday New York Times or 2 Sunday newspapers of greatest circulation, as well as other places. And, see if they can test the market, see if they can find any Americans or green card holders. And if they can't, then the process goes forward. They file this application. And once it's filed, it could take another 3 to 9 to 12 months to get the Labor Department to certify, yes, Mr. Employer, Mrs. Employer, your application, we confirm that this is a shortage occupation, whatever the occupation is, we confirm it. And now we're allowing you to file an application with U.S. Immigration, also known as USCIS, formerly, the INS. Now it's USCIS since 2002 or so. And so this cuts, if this happens, I'll like pinch myself, because this would cut processing times in half, and it would save money. And it would be awesome, and it would be great for foreign nationals, because to wait, 2 years, sometimes 3 years to get your green card before you can come to the USA, especially those who aren't in the USA. There are some that are already here, and they're in, and it's okay. They've got some kind of status already, and they can maintain it, temporary status. But, a lot of these folks are outside the USA, and these employers, how can they plan? How can they expand operations? Let's say there's a town and they want to put up a Chipotle, but there aren't enough people in this particular town that are, for whatever reason, maybe there are no young people and it's more 50s and 60s and 70-year-olds who are retired or professionals. They're not going to want to work in the Chipotle, but they would be happy to eat at the Chipotle. And the entrepreneur says, gee, I'd love to put a Chipotle there, but I can't find anybody that's less than an hour away. And a lot of people don't want to commute an hour and a half to get to a Chipotle. And so if they could bring in new young blood to live in that town and work in that Chipotle and give a 1-year commitment, and John's company, eb3.work, could recruit these employees for the employer, this would really be helpful, because you see, these towns where there's also boarded up buildings, and it's kind of sad to see these buildings that used to exist and used to be a restaurant or a gym for children or a karate center or, a coffee shop or a stationery store, or more importantly, a pharmacy, or, in certain places. So this could change in 5 years. This could improve the entire United States shopping experience, restaurant experience, and would bring in legal workers, not people who cross the border and then don't have permission to work and don't have a status, but actually people who have had a background check. They've given 10 fingerprints. They've given their entire, we've done all the checks, the United States Department of State in Washington, the FBI, they've checked on these people to make sure they're clean. They can't get their green card unless they're clean. I mean, maybe, rare circumstances if they have a DUI or some, they've done their time and they were 12 or 16. Mostly, criminals, not easy to get a green card. So most of these people, 99.9, it's not 100, are super clean and super motivated, willing to come to the United States to give a 1-year commitment to work at Chipotle. This allows the employer to plan that, yes, we can expand. Yes, we're going to have employees, because, well, you know better than me, John, how many employers have been stopped in their tracks because they just don't have or will not have employees available to open up their new Dairy Queen.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk to employers every day about these challenges, and it's frustrating. When you're unable to expand, and I post articles like this on my LinkedIn also about how we're going through a big demographic shift where the baby boomers are retiring, and there just aren't enough people. There are more people leaving the workforce than there are entering, and so the restaurant industry. Google restaurant labor shortage, and there's no shortage of articles of stories about and go to a restaurant, and look at the wait times in a lot of places because people are understaffed. And so, yeah, you know, restaurant industry jobs are a big opportunity to expand the economy. You know, it has a trickle-down effect. They employ a lot of people. The hospitality industry, we can cast the net a little bit wider. Hotels with housekeepers.
What about front desk?
Absolutely, front desk. Yeah, warehouse workers, construction workers. You know, the infrastructure bill is the big problem is that states and companies are not going to be able to use that federal funding because they don't have the workers to do the jobs. The money is there. The federal government's saying, take this money, fix your bridges, fix your roads, fix your potholes, upgrade your infrastructure. And they're saying, we'd love to, but we can't bid on this because we don't have enough workers. Yeah, so construction workers absolutely should be on Schedule A without question. You know, there's immediate gratification when processing times are cut short. The issue is not, the issue is that there just aren't enough workers. You know, people don't go in the trades like they used to. There are fewer people, you know, there are more tradespeople retiring. You know, go to any construction industry website and labor shortages is right up there among the hot topics.
John, don't you have a family member, a close family member, you're discussing college versus possibly opening up a business?
Yeah, my son is a junior in high school and he wants to go in the trades, and I'm fully supportive of it. You know, I think it's great. So yeah, we are approaching the 20-minute mark. This was supposed to be a 5-minute video. You can't stop us. Once we get going, we're like a freight train, David. Thank you very much for being so generous with your time.
Mr. John Dorer, thank you for being so generous with your time. And for those of you who are watching, we hope you've been informed and somewhat entertained. We try and keep these things light and fun so that you don't have like a legal lecture, which if you want to fall asleep, just put on a legal lecture on your YouTube. If you have trouble sleeping at night, find a lawyer discussing the fine points of law at a conference. You will fall asleep in like 30 seconds.